Hey guys, what's going on? Richard here with Alien Bros, and today I have some amazing UFO sightings to share with you, two of which blew my mind and you absolutely have to see. After that, I have an interesting topic that I don't think enough people are aware of to share with you guys. Also, I want to tell you guys that the reason that I have not been posting as frequently as I was these past few weeks is because as much as I love this work, these videos take a very long time to produce, and I am simply not making enough money off of this to be able to make these videos as often as I would like to be. I love this work and making these videos, and I'm doing my best to work it out so that I can make YouTube my full-time job. But the amount of work that it takes to make these videos and the amount of money that YouTube pays simply isn't significant enough to do this full time right now, and my job and financial situation aren't allowing for me to do it, at least not yet anyway. I'm hoping to change that soon. If any of you guys want to help me see that goal so I can make content daily and make the content better, then feel free to help us out on Patreon. The link to our Patreon page is down in the video description. I would deeply appreciate it, and it would help us in our search for answers and in the quest to make YouTube my full-time profession. Thank you guys, and now let's get into the first UFO sighting. This first sighting comes to us from over Weilerbach, Rheinland-Pfalz, Germany, and was captured on November 17th of 2017. I'll go ahead and play you guys the footage, and we'll get into more on it afterwards, alright? Here it is. So this sighting is rather unique because I've only ever seen one similar piece of UFO footage before. The similar sighting was captured over Ontario, Canada, and we shared it in a past video on this channel, which I'm sure many of you have already watched, but if you haven't, then I definitely recommend going back and watching it to get yourself up to speed. I'll set that specific video as the one that's recommended at the end of this video so you guys can check it out for yourselves. Now, I'll go ahead and read you guys the witness's statement. It was in German, so I had to translate it to the best of my abilities. The witness's statement reads, and I quote, "When my wife went outside to smoke a cigarette, she suddenly came back into the house clearly excited and told me about a big pulsing ball that was hovering about 100 meters above the forest. I immediately grabbed my camera and went outside to go look at the object. I was amazed by what I saw and immediately filmed the object, which then released a smaller ball away from the larger object. I could only film the object for a little over 1 minute as it then suddenly disappeared without flying away. The lights then went out and it was no longer visible." That is the end of the witness's statement. So I'm not quite sure what this object could be. It seems that the lights are all attached to one solid object, and it almost looks as though it is changing shapes, or maybe turning its lights off, certain ones. I'm not sure which. The object seems to go back and forth between looking like a rhombus and a triangle-shaped light formation resembling a TR-3B black manta. I highly doubt that this is what we're looking at here, but it does bear a resemblance in certain parts of the video. I'm not too sure of any mundane objects that are capable of recreating and being mistaken for whatever the object in this video is after having analyzed the footage and comparing it to the typical plethora of objects that are often mistook for UFOs, such as flares, drones, planes, weather balloons, planets, stars, swamp gas, helicopters, and a whole lot of other objects, leaving me unsure of what I'm looking at here. Maybe this is something military, although I doubt the German military has anything like this. I'm wondering if there's a chance that maybe this object is something extraterrestrial, but I can't definitively say that. I still believe that there is a chance that this sighting is explainable, which is why I'm sharing it with you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think this thing is, and if you have footage of a similar sighting or have seen and recorded the same object, or you have more information on it, then please send us an email and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. If we feel we cannot explain it, then we can feature it here on the channel and see if anyone else can come up with an explanation for your UFO sighting. Our email is down in the video description. Alright, so next I have another UFO sighting which was originally posted by our friend UFO Man, and well, you just have to see it for yourself. This is one of the 2 UFO sightings that completely blew my mind. This sighting was originally captured over Spartanburg, South Carolina on April 1st of this month. I'll go ahead and play you guys the footage and we can talk more on it afterwards, alright? Here it is.
Oh my god. They're just right there hovering. That's, They're all just right there. Those aren't even stars. Just look, I mean, we don't have any.
That's definitely a UFO. See that?
Yeah. Oh gosh. They're like right in front of us now. Oh, you see that one in the middle? Oh my god. That one in the middle has literally, it's all lighted up. Oh gosh. Wish my camera was better. That's a UFO. Oh. It's gone. It's gone. I mean, do you think that's just one huge one or just a ton of small ones with lights that are kind of in a formation?
I think it's a formation.
Yeah. Because there's no... There. They're like so low. Are they landing? Landing or something? Not near an airport or anything. Oh my god, do you see that? It's right there. That is not a plane. Repeat, that is not a plane. Oh my god. That is not a plane. Oh my god. There it is. Oh jeez. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. Oh god. That isn't a plane. That isn't even a plane. Wait, and there's still others? Oh gosh, okay.
So yeah, wow, simply a mind-boggling piece of footage here. I have no idea what these people capture, but whatever it is huge. The first time I watched this footage, the first thing that came to my mind was, wow, this looks like a huge flying saucer. Now, I'm not saying at all that that's what we're looking at here, but whatever it is, it's certainly not something that you see every day, that's for sure. What really intrigues me though is when the craft disappears behind the tree line. It just doesn't look right, and it's just plain out strange to me. We also get a very good view of the light formation, although I wish the cameraman would have done a better job at keeping in the shot and holding the camera steady. Now, I think this looks to be one solid object with lights attached to it, but you know, you can't be too certain. The lights don't move at all out of this disc-shaped formation, and to me, that signals that this is one huge object with multiple lights on it, and not multiple smaller objects in a formation. To me, it just seems to be more of an outline than a formation. Now, I'm not saying that I know for sure that that's what this thing is, but I'm fairly certain that this is not multiple objects. I'm honestly not sure what this thing could be, and to be honest, I don't know if I can come up with an even plausible explanation for this one. Maybe one of you guys can tell me what this thing is, but I truly don't have any answers for this. Whatever this thing is, I think it's an amazing UFO capture, and I'm seriously happy they managed to capture whatever this is on film. These are the types of sightings that keep me going and continuing to do research into this amazing and confusing field that we call UFOlogy. As always guys, leave your theories on what you think this thing is down in the comments, and if you have more information on this sighting, footage from your own sighting, or something similar, then definitely send us over an email and we can work together on getting to the bottom of all of this. Alright, now let's get into the second UFO sighting that completely blew my mind, and honestly, this one might even be more amazing than the South Carolina sighting that I just showed you guys. This sighting was also shared by our friend UFO Man, and it was filmed over a residential area in Battle Creek, Michigan in October of 2009. I'll go ahead and play the clip for you guys and we'll talk about it afterwards, alright? Here it is.
Oh my god, looks like glass.
Yeah, so, like I said, this sighting is pretty incredible. I have absolutely no explanations for it. It appears to show one solid object, which looks to me to be a lot like a TR-3B. I won't say that's what this thing is, but it certainly is very similar in the way the object's lights are organized. Now, I tried very hard to come up with an explanation for this video, but quite frankly, nothing I've came up with seems to fit this object and be a plausible explanation for it. I've compared it to everything that I can think of, and I watched the clip literally hundreds of times, and nothing fits. I'm truly stuck on this one. I thought maybe this could be a CGI effect, but I have my doubts. The reason why I doubt it is because of the pixelation of the object and the rest of the video being exactly the same. I'm not saying there's no possibility, but if someone did hoax this sighting with CGI, then they did one amazing job. I only wish that the person who took the video could have gotten a longer clip of it so we could examine the flight characteristics of it more, although this is still some amazing footage nonetheless. Now, I have seen a few sightings from other people in the past that seem rather similar to this one. However, I was able to debunk those as being reflections off a window or a car windshield, which may or may not have been intentional hoaxes. However, that explanation clearly would not work with this footage because the witness that filmed it was clearly outside and wasn't filming this from any sort of window since she was able to show us her surroundings. As far as saying that this could be something like drones would just be totally preposterous considering the snowy weather conditions factored in with the absolute perfectness of the light's formations and how they move pretty much perfectly in formation with one another without breaking it. It was also captured in 2009, and drones were not nearly as popular back then as they are today and weren't very affordable to buy for the average person either. I don't think even the new custom drones would be capable of pulling off that perfect formation in a snowstorm like this one. No, this thing is very clearly one solid triangle shaped object, and it is in the shape of something that does not seem to be at all from Earth, and if it is, then it's got to be a classified military aircraft that we know nothing about. It very possibly could be a TR-3B and being used by the government, or maybe even an alien ship, or possibly maybe even a time-traveling machine being used by humans from the future, but who really knows? It just isn't possible for me to say what this thing is with any certainty. If you guys could give me an explanation for it that we haven't yet considered, then definitely tell us and leave your thoughts and theories on it down in the comments. As far as my theory goes, I'm leaning towards the idea that this is either government-controlled alien technology, or it's just a straight up ET craft. These are just my guesses after exhausting every option that I could come up with though in terms of trying to debunk it, so take them at face value and make of them what you will. I am in no way saying any of these theories that I just listed are solid facts or even close to correct. What I am saying though is that in my opinion there is a strong possibility that what the witness filmed here could be something extremely strange and possibly not originally from this world. Either way, as far as I can tell, this thing is definitely with 100% certainty an unidentified flying object. Remember, if you have footage of this object or something similar, then definitely send us over an email. Also, just to make sure you guys are aware, I know that especially with Gmail, it won't allow you guys to send over your footage because the files are too large. If this is the case, then you guys should either upload the file to Dropbox and email us the download link, or save it to Google Drive and then send the file over that way, along with a very detailed description of your sighting. Please try not to leave any information out, as all of it is helpful in our investigations. Alright, so I have one more piece of UFO footage for you guys before we get into the main topic of this video, and this one was captured over Droitwich, Great Britain on February 28th of 2018. It was also submitted to MUFON, and it appears to show something very strange. I'll play the clip for you guys now, and as always, we'll examine it together afterwards, alright? Now go ahead and check out this footage. So this footage is definitely showing something strange, and I have to say that I've never seen footage quite like this before. I'll go ahead and read you guys the witness's statement. The statement reads, "I was walking the dog at 6 a.m. in Droitwich Spa when I noticed light shining through the heavy cloud cover. At first I thought it was the northern light, but I think I live way too south for that. Plus, these were more like a spotlight rapidly moving and dancing from side to side. It freaked me out a little, so I recorded them with my phone and have excellent footage. I observed for a couple of minutes, but was already late for work, so I had to stop filming. That is the end end of the witness's statement. Now, whatever they are, it is quite apparent that they are flying rather high up, at least high enough to fly in and out of the cloud cover. This to me appears to resemble balls of electrical energy, but there is no way that this is ball lightning or anything like that because of the way that they behave going randomly around the sky, and one even appears below the cloud cover long enough to give us a clear enough view that we can definitively say that this is not ball lightning. Now, that leaves us with the question of what these things are. I can't say for sure that these things are extraterrestrial, but I can for sure say that whatever these things are, they're certainly out of the ordinary, and it's a magnificent piece of footage. That isn't to say that they aren't ET either. I'm just saying that I haven't come to a conclusive answer yet. Again, leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments, and if you have info on this, then definitely shoot us an email. Alright, now let's get into the main topic of this video. So many of you are probably not aware of this, but back in 1988, something happened to a Russian satellite that I feel is nowhere near as well known as it should be. And I recently took up a renewed interest in the incident after being reminded of it while looking through Mars photographs for my own personal interest. On July 12th of 1988, the Russian satellite Phobos 2 was on an unmanned mission to Mars orbit to collect information and photographs on the Martian moons Phobos and Deimos, and entered orbit on January 29th of 1989. What actually ended up happening caused the Soviet Union to permanently shut down their Mars program and cost them the equivalent of many millions of US dollars. It also left them scratching their heads in fear, never wanting to journey to Mars again, at least not for many years until a new government takes over. Now, before we get into what went wrong with the mission, let me give you a bit of information about the mission itself. The original Phobos 1 mission lost communication due to a software glitch, but Phobos 2 had better luck and made it all the way into Mars' orbit. The intent behind the Phobos missions was to gather data on the moons, and Phobos 2 had managed to take and return 37 images of Mars and was hoping to transfer its orbit from Mars to Phobos. Shortly before the final phase of the mission, during which the spacecraft was supposed to approach within 50 meters of Phobos' surface and release 2 landers, one a mobile hopper and the other a stationary platform, contact with Phobos 2 was lost. The mission ended when the spacecraft signal failed to be successfully reacquired on March 27th of 1989. The officially stated cause of the failure was determined to be a malfunction of the onboard computer. However, what actually caused the mission failure is a lot more mysterious than that. What you're looking at right now is the last photo of Mars that was sent back by Phobos 2 before plummeting to its immediate death and losing contact. The shadow on the ground that you're seeing was to the Russians considered unexplainable. They believed that Phobos 2 did not simply have an issue with the onboard computer, but instead it was knocked down by another unknown cigar-shaped object, as suggested by the shadow seen in the last photograph returned to Earth by Phobos 2 in its last few seconds before colliding with the Martian surface. They were unsure of what this unknown cigar-shaped shadow was. The features are either on the Martian surface or in the lower atmosphere. The features are between 20 and 25 kilometers wide and do not resemble any known geological formation. They are spindle-shaped and proving to be intriguing and puzzling. It was certainly different from the shadow of Phobos recorded 18 years earlier by Mariner 9. The latter cast a shadow that was a rounded ellipse and fuzzy at the edges, as would be cast by the uneven surface of the moonlet. The anomaly seen in the Phobos 2 transmission was a thin ellipse with very sharp rather than rounded points. The shape is known in the diamond trade as a marquise, and the edges, rather than being fuzzy, stood out sharply against a kind of halo on the Martian surface. Dr. Beclick described it as something that is between the spacecraft and Mars because we could see the Martian surface below it, and stressed that the object was seen by both the optical and the infrared heat-seeking camera. All these reasons explain why the Soviets have not suggested that the dark, thin ellipse might have been a shadow of the moonlet. Dr. Beclick described that it was taken as the spacecraft was aligning itself with the moonlet Phobos. As the last picture was halfway through, he said the Soviets saw something that should not be there. What the Soviets saw could not be explained and led the Soviets to permanently end their Mars program because something obviously does not want us on Phobos. Now, something else you may not be aware of is that Phobos is actually widely agreed upon by scientists to be a hollow natural satellite. Is it possible that Phobos is actually an alien base or space station? And would those aliens be from Mars or somewhere else? For those of you that don't know, NASA has officially stated, and you can see this on their website, that 4 billion years ago, Mars was another Earth with an atmosphere and vast oceans. That means that there was very likely life on the planet Mars. Mars may be considered a dead planet now, which Dr. Ron Joseph would argue is ludicrous, and if you haven't heard of him, I definitely recommend looking into his feuds with NASA and the court documents. But even if Mars is dead today, it is also possible that the life on that planet may have become so advanced that it was able to go off-world and find a new place to live. If Phobos is an artificial satellite put there by extraterrestrials, then could it be owned by the survivors of the death of Mars in terms terms of habitability? The amount of questions I have when this is compiled with all other evidence and data we have available to us and have displayed in past videos on the channel makes me feel that there is a lot more to this than most people know, and it definitely deserves more attention than what it's been getting. It seems the questions just keep piling up, and I'm sure that there will be many more as more evidence and information come to the surface, and you can bet that we will be here to talk more on it in future videos. Whatever happened to Phobos, it was clearly enough to scare the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, aka the USSR, into never wanting to return to Mars again. That may have changed under the guidance of Putin, but clearly there is far more to this than we know. Let us know what you guys think about this down in the comments. What do you guys think the deal with Mars is? Do you think that Phobos is natural, or was it put there by an alien race to monitor Mars, our solar system, or maybe even just us? Do you think Mars is completely dead like we've been told it is? Let us know what your theories are, because together we will find answers to our questions. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, but stay tuned because there is a lot more coming, and we will have it posted very soon. If you liked the video, then please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out, share it, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell. It really helps us out, and it'll let you guys stay up to date by sending you a message straight to your inbox every time we upload a video, and you can stay on the up and up with all the latest alternative news. Also, if you want updates on when our videos will be coming out, then please go follow our Facebook page. The link is down in the video description. If you have some UFO footage or evidence that you would like us to feature on the channel, then please email it over to us. Our email is down in the description as well, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for your support, guys. It means a lot to us as always, and don't forget to browse the channel if you're new and get yourself up to speed. As always, I'm Richard with the Alien Bros, and I'll see you guys again next video.